welcome to the forecast. To my right, we have Alex. Alex, how you doing?
Hello, everyone.
And to my left, we have Garrett. Garrett, how you doing tonight?
I'm swell.
He's doing swell tonight. We're here to tell you the comics coming out for February 21st, 2018. That is the second to last Wednesday of February. There's only 4 of them. It's not a fifth week kind of situation. And it turns out, as we go along into this forecast, you'll notice that there's a lot of books this week. There's a lot to cram in, so we're going to get right into it. Dark Horse Comics, we got Department H number 23. This is Matt Kent, and Charlene Kent. Mia is on her own in a final mad dash to save her life and solve her father's murder and either rescue or doom everyone she's cared for. First off, let me just say, that cover is pretty great. I do like it. It's simple, yet it catches your eye, and I do like the colors on it. But, Alex, what do you think? Department H wrapping up. We got this issue, the next issue, and then we're done. Looking forward to Department H?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what happens in these last 2 issues. Does she save everybody? Do we actually find out who the killer is? What's going to happen? I think I'm ready for the book to be done, but I'm excited to see how it ends, and if it's actually a well-told story, or if it's just going to be a rushed crap ending, which I could have lived without. So overall, I'm excited.
That was like the most pessimistic optimism I've ever heard. I read 22, and seriously, that was like one of the best issues of the whole series for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, having 2 issues left, I don't know. I'm pumped, but I'm really sad because this series has been great. Man, I haven't read a story like this before in comics, like a mystery that actually lasts this long, that shows clues and that you're like dying to find out what happened. So I'm excited to get answers, and I think it's going to pay off in a great way.
I'm glad this whole thing got to go 24 issues and we didn't get canceled, or there wasn't really any delays, I don't think. I think a couple times, maybe a month or something like that, but it really's been on pace for most of it.
Yeah.
And it actually, like you said, it's been great the whole time. The mystery itself was the main focus and kind of had to be pushed to the side while they were trying to survive, but in a way that was like not dismissive. It didn't dismiss the mystery. It still was there, and there were still, but then she couldn't really trust anybody. She needed to trust everybody with her life, but at the same time couldn't really trust anybody, didn't know who to trust. And it really made for a great second part of the story. Now we're getting into the last part, and I think, like you said, it's pretty great. So it's ending soon, so I wouldn't say jump on now, but when it ends, certainly get whatever collection comes out of this. If for anything, I think that art is pretty great. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Next, just want to mention these one-shots come out every once in a while. This is Hellboy in the BPRD 1955. Mike Mignola, Chris Robinson, and Sean Martin Burrow. Hellboy investigates a rash of spontaneous human combustion in a Florida town, unlike any supernatural phenomenon he's seen before, and the fire has an appetite for Bureau agents. Just wanted to mention some dinosaurs on the cover. We got a Jurassic Park situation going on here, it looks like. Actually, no, that might be the where they're like a amusement park or something like that. Anyways, I like that cover. Looks pretty cool. Hellboy, you do these one-shots every once in a while. You can jump in if you want to. Alex, I think we would say that. Any of these you can jump on and really don't have to know anything about Hellboy. Or there's something small that connects them all. So
I think once in a while is kind of an understatement. I think it's like every other week there's a new Hellboy one-shot.
I don't think so.
Well, the last one came out around just shortly after Christmas, I thought. Was the Krampus one.
Yeah.
I don't know. They seem to come out pretty frequently.
No, there's another series going on at the same time, but these one-shots are different.
And the one-shots are actually pretty good because they're a self-contained story. The other like 1954, 1956 and stuff, those do kind of get long-winded where I almost miss the point of the story, so you end up skipping through and it's like, this is whatever. So these one-shots are actually worth your time. They're good little stories.
That's what I mean. If you watch those movies or are interested in the new movie coming out, starring who, Alex?
David Harbour.
Your boy.
Watch him get ripped.
He did get pretty ripped for that role. But
he's pretty ripped. So
if you are excited for that movie and you like the Hellboy catalog is pretty big, so but these one shots, just get the one shot. You can start reading it. Read some Hellboy stories. Get into it this way. DC Comics This is originally called Detective Comics, but now we're talking just DC Comics. Batboy, Batman,
Whoa.
number 41. This is Tom King and Mikhail Hanin. Everyone Loves Ivy, Part 1. Mikhail Hanin returns to Batman for a brand new epic. Pamela Isley influence can be spread as far as visitation will allow, putting the whole world at her fingertips. Can Batman and Catwoman stand their ground against that evil planet of poison ivies? So we got the return of Hanin. The cover shows you exactly he's back. And we got Poison Ivy, who we saw... Well, we haven't seen in this run, I don't think, so far, if I'm correct, except for that Jokes and Riddles, but everybody was in that as a cameo. Yeah. But we saw her last in All-Star Batman, I believe, when she was trying to take over the world with her little pollen. And now we have Tom King. We'll see what Tom King does with her. I'm really excited for this. What do you think, Garrett? Batman, Poison Ivy.
Yeah, I know. I think great artist for the story arc, getting Hanin back in the mix. I think that it'll be fun to see, like, with what kind of streak Tom King's been on with Batman lately. I think he's going to knock Poison Ivy out of the park. So I think this story is going to be really something to look forward to. I'm very excited to see what happens. I think Poison Ivy is a great character for Batman to go up against, so it'll be fun to see her handled by a new writer, basically.
Alex, Ivy, Hanin, you like both those ingredients. What do you think? Batman 41, is that going to be for you?
Oh, I'm super excited for this issue, but I'm actually curious to know is this going to be Catwoman's like getting her friends approval of Batman?
Oh,
being that Poison Ivy is part of the Gotham City Sirens. Is it going to be Catwoman asking for permission to be with Batman, or is this a self-contained story where we're getting back to just Batman go?
Or this could be, Alex. This could be showing you that when it comes down to it, she really has changed, and she'll go against her villains who are like used to be her friends, and she will be a hero. Like, to show Batman that it doesn't matter who it is, even if they were my old friends, if they're on the wrong side of the law, I'm not going to allow it. So we'll see if that works out that way.
I mean, see right there, all three of those options. I am totally sold for this book. The Hanin cover looks amazing. I can't wait to dive into this book.
Garrett, Batman Sins of the Father #1. Are you getting this?
That's kind of where my debate is. My instinct is no, but looking at those covers, and I really love the Telltale Batman seasons. Season 2 is halfway through right now, and it's such a great story. I'm surprised Alex doesn't play that freaking game. It's a Batman video game, crying out loud. I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to end up getting an Impulse style, so probably.
Christo Gage, Raphael Linko. This is a new digital first comic. It tells the story of the events between the first and second seasons. So like you said, based on the Telltale game, so you've been getting that. You can pick this up and fill in the gaps between season 1 and 2.
And Christos Gage, I mean, I don't think he's written a lot of DC lately, but he's a great writer for Marvel. So I'm excited to actually see him do some DC stuff, even though it's more based in video game kind of world, but still, like Christos Gage is a great writer.
Yeah, I haven't seen him do a DC thing in a long time. Maybe not even. I don't think I've ever seen him do a DC thing. He might have in the past, but I've never seen it. He did that
it's been a long time.
He did that one shot that we love. It was a Superior Spider-Man. I think it was the annual or something like that. There was like a short story in there. I forget what it was, but it wasn't like part of the main series. He did one issue, and that issue was great. It was Superior Spider-Man. So looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to it, but I mean, it is a good like team. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You said the games are good. If the games are good, then there's good building ground for them to make something good out of that. So,
right.
Batman.
Garrett, are you still getting Batman in the Signal?
Yeah, I got issue 1.
Oh,
okay. Well, that was pretty good. Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna get. I mean, it's only 3 issues long. I was gonna get it.
Right. I thought issue 1 was enough. Sorry, he's gonna bring it up anyways and intro it.
Batman in the Signal #2 or 3. This is Scott Snyder, Tony Patrick.
Oh, I see.
And Coley Hamner. 2 out of 3. These are normal size, right? They're not like bigger. They're just a 3-issue mini.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you said it's been good so far?
It's been okay.
The first issue, like the art, I thought was really great. I think that, this would have been better had it come out like right after Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's run. Because it's like, how relevant really is Duke Thomas right now? I mean, he's not in any other Batman comic.
Well, I think it was
for this one.
It was Metal.
He's in the
2?
Forge of the casting.
Yeah, one of those two. But that was like half a year ago.
I think that actually when it was supposed to come out, it's after that reveal that he was Meta, or what? Yeah, they call it Meta. That he had powers. I thought this would come out right afterwards, but it was delayed like 3 months and didn't come out like 3 months.
But I'm like, what spoilers in this story had to push it back, or if it was?
I don't think it was that.
Find a different freaking artist.
Because remember,
that is not.
Remember, it was an ongoing at first, and then they decided to make it a miniseries. And then it was Batman in the Signal. At first, it was just Signal. So I think they made a lot of changes. They pivoted a lot. I'm not sure for the reason why, but it turned from an ongoing to include more of Batman, and now we have this. So
yeah,
I think maybe at some point they decided to change Metal a little bit, and I think maybe he was going to play more of a role, and they decided to take him out of it. So they decided just to give him like a miniseries instead of an ongoing. I'm not sure. That's all speculation. I'm not sure about that. Batman TMNT 2, number 4. This is James Tynion the 4th and Freddie Williams the 2nd. A lot of numbers here once again. But we have Bane in the background, looks like. We have Hulked up Donatello. Alex, how's this going TMNT? Batman number 2, number 4.
Now, in all honesty, I've chosen not to actually. I'm going to keep getting it, but I've chosen not to catch up on it. Just for the fact I just want to read it all back to back and be finished with it. So this is more of a Garrett question. Is this still good?
No.
That's an interesting play because, like, I read issue 3 and this series is blowing me away. Like, amazing. The art is so good. The story's really great. It's easy to follow. It's fun seeing, like, now you're getting all the Batman characters, or at least Batman and Robin, in the Turtles universe, where, like, the first part, it was the Turtles in Gotham City. So, yeah, this is a lot of fun, and I can't believe it's only 6 issues. I thought it would be longer, but I'm really enjoying the ride.
Batwoman number
12,
sorry. You wouldn't scroll up. Margaret Bennett, Scott Gillespie, and Coriana. As Batwoman begins the hunt for Mother of War, she recalls the death of love, the brutal end of her lost year upon the secret island of Coriana. I'm going to make... So, Garrett, you dropped this. Alex, you look at Batwoman?
Yeah.
I was still getting it, but I actually am making the decision to drop it.
You are? Okay. I'm still getting it. I'm just a little behind, so I'm not sure what's going to happen in the story, but I believe, actually, from our prior conversations about this book that I enjoy it more than you guys, but that might also be... I think a lot of that's residual from Greg Rucka's run. I've been reading Batwoman for a while, and so... I think it might be part of that, but I do like her as a character, and so that's why I'm so content.
Yeah, I think it's a great character, but as you can see, or you'll see by the end of this forecast, me and Alex get a ridiculous amount of books, and it's like, at what point is it like, okay, if you're interested in a character versus you need to read it, like this one for me is like, well, I could read it someday, I don't really need to read it.
Whenever DC puts out that streaming service, then you'll read it.
That's right,
We'll
I'll
see.
be in.
Well, I actually currently caught up tonight on Batwoman. And the last issue, which had a character I really like as a bad guy, and he's only in it for the one issue. I was like, yeah, I know eventually they're going to go back to that story and that character will show up again, but I'm just choosing that. Garrett's right. I already get way too many books. I just need to make some cut somewhere. So I can eventually read this online or something.
And that was a one-off, too. That wasn't even Margaret Bennett. That was just a random writer. Not a random one, but I mean, like, he was just a one-shot written by somebody else. So that story probably will come back, but it kind of reminds me of, like, Trinity when they couldn't get Maniple to do it. They'd put whatever back on whoever was writing it before. Was it Colin Bunn or somebody?
It was Colin, yeah.
Yeah, just to, like, fill it, to basically do filler, and then they're like, oh, but I want to finish my story. And, like, nobody cares. So
yeah.
Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman, number 1. This is Liam Sharp writing and drawing. Don't miss the start of the new 6-issue miniseries written and illustrated by Liam Sharp. When a Celtic god's murder leads to a war between the fairy folk and a possible breach between worlds, Wonder Woman must find the murderer and keep the peace while Batman investigates strange occurrences in Gotham City. As Diana must turn to the world's greatest detective for help, the two heroes quickly learn their cases may be connected. This is a series that was announced a little bit ago. It wasn't too long ago, if I remember correctly. Liam Sharp did the art for Wonder Woman during Greg Rucka's run. One of the parts, the past parts, right? And no, the new parts. The past parts was Nicole Scott. Now he's doing his own thing with Batman and Wonder Woman. Garrett, you picking this up? I'm assuming.
Absolutely, and I'm actually like I even said to you guys, like I know you showed us this a long time ago, but like, why isn't Marvel or DC even doing like their team up books like they used to? They're so focused on like these main storylines, which is great. You got to have, I mean, obviously there's got to be depth, but like sometimes it's just fun to have two characters work together to like solve a crime or do a mission together. So I feel like bringing Brave and the Bold back, I'm stoked. Like. Batman and Wonder Woman, I mean, they have a lot of chemistry. We just saw that in Tom King's issue with, the Super Friends arc and things like that. So, I don't know what this tale has in story. Actually, I can't even say it. Whatever. What's in store for this book for us? But I'm excited. I think it's fun when you have the people that don't usually team up together teaming up. So, very pumped.
I think a lot of that has to do with that, like, Batman has so many books on his own. Spider-Man has so many books on his own. But I really do think it should be what you say. It should be. I guess Marvel's only example of that is Spider-Man and Deadpool, and now we have this Brave and the Bold. But there really should be more of like Batman. Well, I guess we have Batman and Superman. Do we?
But if you remember, like Marvel Team Up, like that was the book to read because like it just took two characters and threw them together. And that's what Brave and the Bold is for DC. And it's like, come on.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But I think a lot of those books got eaten up by them deciding to do more books in like Batman books and Spider-Man books. Because they're like, oh, Batman sells. Let's do 7 books about Batman. And it's like, well, you can really you really do have these characters who sit in the background that could, host a 3-issue arc and then, do a story like in one of those series like you're talking about. But yeah, we'll see. Liam Sharp. Go ahead.
Honestly, to be fair, Marvel does team ups all the time. It's just not called team up. It's called events.
Well, that's
so
different.
Together anyway.
That's
I know, different. But this is like a banner basically. When you see Brave and the Bold, that means team up. Like that's DC's team up book. So I'm excited that they're using like Liam Sharp's using that title, and it's called Brave and the Bold, Batman and Wonder Woman. Like that just floors me. I'm like, yes, Brave and the Bold, let's go.
Cave Carson's. Oh yeah. By the way, my only concern about this book, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to get it still, even though the whole thing interests me, except for one thing that I'm not sure about is Liam Sharp's writing. I don't know how his writing is. He could be perfect, but I don't think I've ever read anything that he's written. So we'll see. I guess I will see. I'll flip through it and see if I want to get it. But it is one that really piques my eye because, like what you said, Garrett, like what happened to these books where it could be a side story. It doesn't have to matter about anything, and I could just have a fun story about Batman and Wonder Woman. So,
right.
Cave Carson, Swamp Thing Special #1. This is Jonathan Rivera, Magdalene Visaggio, and Langdon Foss and Sonny Liu. This is Milk Wars Part 4. By the way, Garrett, look at that cover.
It looks so good.
Do you see that map?
So freaking good.
We haven't seen that map. Actually, we saw that map in Metal recently, and before that, we saw it in Multiversity. Looks like we might have some talk about universes in this issue. Plus, we got Swamp Thing coming back. Swamp Thing's having a couple months here where he's popping up all over the place. Actually, let me throw to Alex. Alex, I know you enjoyed the second part. Did you read the third one yet? Shade and Wonder Woman?
No, it's on my list. I mean, it's on my stack to read.
Does it concern you at all that this cover has the multi-universe on there, that it might be more of what issue 1 was about, like crazy kind of universe stuff?
The weird thing is that it's not that I can't handle weird, crazy crap. It's just that there was so much talking in the first issue that really kind of took me out of the book. Made it hard to enjoy the art. I look at this cover, and this is literally one of the best looking covers I've seen in a long time. It's got beautiful colors. I don't care that it's crazy. I'm just excited to open this book and to see. I don't even know anything about Cave Carson, and who doesn't love the Swamp Thing? So I'm excited to read this book. Don't care that I don't know about multiversity or multiverse or whatchamadinky.
Here, Alex, I'll give you a hint. He's got a cybernetic eye.
Holy shit.
You took my joke. But I was going to say, I agree with you 100% on this cover. Even if like the small things, because there's small things on this cover you can not notice. The lighting's perfect. You can tell it's a spotlight from like a desk lamp. You can tell looking at that coffee, like there's bubbles in that coffee that are very subtle. Like this art on this cover looks so it's like a realistic style, but still it looks like a comic book with the colors like Alex was talking about. There's a Swamp Thing issue on this guy's desktop. This guy is an iPhone. Like I kind of get the sense on who this person is by just looking at this cover, and it does open up the possibilities. And like I don't even know how this cover relates to the book at all, but I do find it like it's a very interesting cover that if I saw on the shelf, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. And I would stop and look at it. So,
did you read part 3 of Milk Wars yet, Marvin?
I haven't. I flipped
Me
through
either.
it, but I haven't. I fell a little behind last week on books, but looks good. I mean, I've been enjoying it so far. Even though the second part we talked about a little bit last week, I enjoyed less than the first one. You guys enjoyed it more. I still think the whole thing's been good. So
yeah,
I'll see where we go with 3 and with this 4th one too. Plus, it's Swamp. Like I said, Swamp Thing's been having a couple months here. It's always nice to see him pop up. He popped up in Not Metal. He popped in The Hunt, #1, and I got a little excited when he popped up in The Hunt. He pops up for it's literally a panel, but it still is good. So now we'll get him for a whole issue. So, Damage #2. This is Robert Venditti, Tony Estano, and Danny Mankey, probably on inks. Damage 1 was a point of controversy in this show. Garrett and Alex, I remember you said that there was too much. What was it? Not enough information, right?
Right.
And now we're going to get Damage 2, which from the solicit looks like Damage can smash his way through a war zone, but can he smash his way through Suicide Squad? Also, you guys didn't like Suicide Squad's coming in this book. Do you think that you'll get more invested in the character in this issue, or is it going to be more of the same?
I have a fear it's going to be more of the same, especially for the fact that the Suicide Squad is being thrown into this book. So if this book doesn't impress me with this issue, I'm off of it.
I agree. This is going to be one of those issues that, already looking at the cover, Suicide Squad takes up just as much space as the title Damage does. All it's going to be is a ridiculous fight that has no purpose, because no one's going to die, no one's going to get the shit kicked out of them. They're going to go, oh, I can't beat you, walk away, or he's going to de-damage, and he's going to be whatever his real name is. Avery, right?
Right.
So all he's going to end up doing is undamaging. Then he's going to get caught by the military, and then I don't know. I already know that this issue is going to piss me off.
It could, but if it happens to not, then I will stay on. But it should have done what Sideways #1 did. Like, it's its own thing. Like, you don't need any crutches from the DC universe to put yourself in there. And Damage is the only one that I've seen so far that has used a crutch like the Suicide Squad to get people invested in it. So
I think I may even look through it first, just to see at least how it looks. If at least it still looks nice, I'll be more willing to be like, okay, this is fine.
Right.
But I have a feeling that you and I are going to be dropping this book, Garrett.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case as well.
Deathbed #1 of 6 is Joshua Williamson and Riley Erasmo. Myth, hack, sex symbol, starved, raving lunatic. All these words have been used to describe Antonio Luna, the world's greatest living adventurer, or at least he was until 20 years ago when he mysteriously vanished from the public eye. Now the 20-year-old has returned and claims to be on his deathbed, which is where Valentine Richards, a failed novelist turned reporter, comes in. Val is hired to travel to Luna's remote castle home and discover where the old star has been all these years and just how much of it, if he says, is actually true. But once he starts to hear Luna's tale, she finds herself entering an insane world of psychedelic violence and explosive supernatural adventure. First off, the longest solicit I've ever read.
Holy shit, I know. I'm just like, wow, is this thing ever going to end?
But a lot of good people involved in this book. It does look interesting. It is. Vertigo's coming back. This is one of their first books back to like try to get people back into Vertigo.
But it's a mini is the only thing
it's a mini. Any other week.
I want to get it. Yeah, right. If it wasn't this week, I'd be all in. But since there's so much shit coming out, I'm like, sorry, you're getting... wait until the trade, or I can read it online for free. So
yeah, it's like DC. There's a lot of stuff coming out this week, and this is the week you decide to put this out. Like it's getting buried underneath all this stuff.
Yeah.
It looks interesting though. Like if you have a light week, if you're not getting the amount of books that we're getting, I would say to pick it up. Joshua Williamson has been great. Alex, you'd like him on Birthright, right?
Yeah. See, now my problem is that I'm the more we talk about it, and the more I go, I love Riley Rossmo. I want to get it. I know better, but I want to get this book.
As I said, there's a lot of ingredients that looks good. This is like the donut you see in the morning when you know you're on a diet, and you're like, "Ooh, I shouldn't have that."
But it looks so damn good.
you might be weak enough tomorrow morning to pick it up once you see how delicious it looks up close. But like I said, all those ingredients are great. Josh and Williamson, Riley Rossmo, Ivan Placentia also. He does good colors. So, I mean, even that solicit, like I don't know what to expect from that solicit. That's a lot of information up front to try to pitch it to me. But even still, like that doesn't sound. At least it doesn't sound boring. At least it sounds going to be interesting. So we'll see what comes out of that. I probably won't pick it up, but any other week, or like what Garrett said, when it all comes out, I'll probably read it in on Hoopla or something if it joins that. So, Injustice 2, number 20. This is Tom Taylor and Bruno Rondando. Amazo Battle Zod. Look at that cover. We got. Is that Amazo? That's how it looks like in the Injustice universe. Garrett, how's this book been?
It's like I tell you every time. It's one of the best books on the shelf that just nobody gets it but me, I guess. Because holy shit. I mean, I wanted to tell you guys what happened this last issue because I'm all the way caught up. And it's brutal. It's so brutal. But I can't spoil everything about this book every week that it comes out because otherwise no one's ever going to read it. But let's just say people are dying. A lot of people that, like, I was the last issue I read, I was like going through pages like, oh, they're not going to kill him off. Flip the page. Okay, he's dead. So it blows my freaking mind every time I read a new issue. So very excited, especially with Amazo being involved. I don't know why he's fighting Zod, but I'm sure we're going to find out. So.
Injustice 2. Hey, would you say if anybody likes those games, the story of those games, they should be getting this book?
Yeah, and even if you don't like those games and you just like say you don't care about continuity, let's say, and you just want to read a good story about the DC universe, get started in Injustice Year 1 and work your way all the way through this. It's literally one of the best sagas I've ever read in my entire life.
Nightwing number 39, The Untouchable Face-Off. This is Sam Humphries and Phil.
What about Justice League? You passed Justice League, buddy.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Marvin can't read, so.
Marvin makes kids cry.
Justice League number 39, Christopher Priest, Ivan Churchill. Justice Lost, part 6. This is the 6th part of the 10-part issue arc from Christopher Priest before he leaves the book. Alex, I know you're caught up, right?
Yes.
How's Justice League been going?
You know, for me, it's just okay. Even reading this, I'm finding that he's just not my writer. Priest is not my writer. He writes this book, I'm like, oh man, it's okay. Like, I'm not impressed. I was impressed the first 2 issues. Now I'm feeling like we're beating this dead horse consistently. So it's okay for me. I think this is one of those books that if you want to get into jail, this is probably a good book to get into. I'm just finding personally for me, the writer is not my style.
I'm the complete opposite. I think he's killing it on the Justice League right now. I mean, compared to what we've got, I think this is even better than Jeff Johns' run on Justice League. Like, I've never felt like the team was more cohesive than they are in this since Christopher Priest has been writing it. And that's why I get nervous about him getting off the book and Snyder taking it on because, like, you know, we see how Metal's going right now. Like, I hope he doesn't ruin the Justice League, but I'm loving this ride right now. I can't wait to read more.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually, especially on the forecast, I'll let you guys say what you think about the books, and I really don't pipe in. But I like to mention that I think what Garrett's saying, I do also agree with. And I also am scared with Scott taking over because if you read this listed for Scott's story, he wants to make it this huge event, make it this huge story, where I think Christopher Priest really took it and made a team. It's more about the team working together. And, like, it seems smaller scale to me in a way. Like, it's not about the world ending. It's about, can this team really work out what's happening? And so I do like that kind of aspect to it. And so it might not be your, like Alex, it might not be your cup of tea, and that's fine. But I do think at least I'd rather have this than have something like this happening in Metal right now where it's just huge to be huge. You know what I mean? So that's what I like.
And I agree. The Justice League don't have to be these world savers. They can actually have an internal struggle amongst themselves, and to even doubt themselves is great. I'm just finding that same with Deathstroke. Priest is not my writer for this kind of book.
Just admit it.
That's just me.
You hate DC Comics.
I hate you sometimes.
Nightwing number 39. This is Sam Humphries, like I was saying before. Phil Jimenez, the Untouchable Face-Off, in a flashback issue with art by Phil Jimenez. I do like Phil Jimenez a lot. Witnessed a second early encounter with Nightwing and the Judge. And Dick Grayson was a college student in a Teen Titan, a meeting that haunts him still. Great cover by Phil Jimenez. What do you think, Garrett? Nightwing.
I'm really liking that they're doing kind of like a little bit of the main story, and then they'll do like a flashback issue. You know, I know you guys didn't like the one with, what was it, Klaus Janson that did the first flashback issue?
Yeah, it was Klaus.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I really like that one. I know we talked about it, and you guys made me bring down my rating and whatnot, but...
we didn't make
I didn't
make you do anything.
I know you didn't, I mean, like, you guys made me realize it wasn't as great as I thought it was originally. My bad. Rephrase. Take it back. Jeez, guys. But so I'm hoping that this one will will not cause the same mistakes as the last issue, but will be a great issue. So I'm excited for story-wise to find out his second encounter with the Judge.
Is Jimenez doing the inside art as well, not just the cover?
Yeah, he's doing the cover and the inside art. Yeah.
Okay. Because that was my biggest gripe, is the art just didn't fit the story last time. Where if Jimenez is doing the art, then I don't think I'm going to have a complaint about this issue.
Super Sons number 13. This is Peter J. Tomasi and Carlos Mabatti. Cover by Jalewski Kamikoli. Hey, Garrett, let me ask you a question. You see that cover?
Yeah.
Does that not look like Kamikoli's best work? It looks kind of off a little bit.
That is not his best work. Absolutely not.
If you look at Superboy, that he looks okay, and then the more you move up, the more it seems like he finished it off quick and sent it off. Yeah. He didn't even finish the top part of that cover. It's all black. So like.
Weirdly enough, I think that variant cover by Dustin Wynn looks the best.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That does look really good.
And it was on Superboy on it, but that Robin.
It's got the Superboy reflection in the sword.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that is
crazy.
Cool. I do like that cover a lot. Mother's Day Part 1. Talia al Ghul returns to her son Damien, whom she's trained from birth to an assassin. So we're gonna get a little. It was announced today that Super Sons will be ending in May, or will be starting its last arc in May. So we had a little bit of Super Sons left. What do you think about this, Alex? Super Sons, how's it been going?
I dropped it.
Oh, Garrett.
I just got it to go through that crossover.
Oh, Garrett, what do you think, Super Sons?
The crossover brought me back, and actually the issue that me and Alex dropped initially, I read, and it was actually really great. So I'm glad I went back and got it, and I'm excited for this arc with Talia. I feel, that it's going to be a great arc to explore not only how obviously Damien feels about his mother, but how Jonathan sees that, whoa, Batman would be your dad, but this crazy lady's your mom. So,
yeah.
So I'm excited to see what happens.
I just imagine it that John is going to meet Talia and have a crush on her, and he's going to want to date her. He's 12, but he's going to want to date her.
Yeah, because he hasn't even kissed his first girl yet, but sure.
Alex, do me a favor. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Never, ever pick up pen to paper and try to write a story.
I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Superman number 41. This is James Robinson and Ed Benz. Suicide Planet Part 2. Garrett, look at that cover. Victor Bongdorviak, who did the art for New Superman and did an arc of Superman prior. Would you also say that is not his best work?
It actually doesn't look that bad.
Up front, it doesn't look that bad, but the more back you go to Superman,
right,
it does look less like his work.
Right, it looks more like the New 52 Superman, to be honest. So I haven't read issue 40. I'm, literally it's at the bottom of my stack because I am just so freaking nervous. James Robinson basically has ruined Wonder Woman for me. I mean, not so much to say that Greg Rucka's run is worse because of it, but it's come on, DC. Like, this is the year of Wonder Woman, and you put shit writer on there. Like, what's going on here? And
There's
so
a lot of years of people.
Huh?
Lemire, Jack the Ripper, this year's
Hey.
Wonder Woman. Nice.
28 Wonder Woman came out this year. What do you want me to say?
It's also the year of the dog, so take that into account.
Anyways, I'm nervous to read this arc because I know it's just filler until Bendis starts his run. So I don't know. Like, what is Patrick Gleason and Peter Tomasi doing? I mean, they're like sad they don't get to finish their run, but then here's James Robinson doing
It's a good
2
point.
issues during their run.
It's a good point.
So wait. Are Tomasi and Gleason done?
No,
they're going to come
they're
back.
still going to do they're going to do their special and probably do the last couple issues up to Bendis' run, but
They're ending the last couple issues, and then they have a special to end their run. But what Garrett's saying is they're so worried. They're right now being like, oh, we don't get to finish our run, so they're doing like special one-shots to finish their runs.
Yeah.
But they could literally be finishing right now instead of doing this
Wasting
side
your
story.
time.
Yeah.
exactly. So it's just kind of stupid.
Wonder Woman Conan number 6 is Gail Simone and Matt Ryan. Alex, the final battle's here. What do you think about Wonder Woman Conan number 6? One of your top 5 miniseries of all time, or top 5.
Well, like I told you guys last time this book came out, I have intentionally waited so I could just read the last 3.
What's the last
I'm
one?
not even. What?
Why aren't you ramping up?
Because I want to get that build up. I want to be, once I'm reading it, I'm trying to do that trade thing without actually collecting the trades.
Oh, so you're paying 3 times as much so that you can do with the trade thing that's usually half the price.
Pretty much.
Nice. Good strategy.
So I haven't actually read it. I'm excited to get this book. I'm excited to get it. Don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. IDW Publishing, the only thing I want to bring up here is the Tangled series that Disney decided that Marvel's not good enough to publish. So there you
go. Burn.
Look forward to... Oh, no, Frozen's going to be on Dark Horse, so also another sign there. Birthright number 30, this is Image Comics. This is Joshua Williamson, like we talked about earlier in the show. Andre Bresson. Can Mikey free himself from lore once and for all? The fate of two worlds hangs in the balance. Oh, that's a great cover. Hey, Alex, didn't we talk about... Is this book ending?
I don't know. I guess it wouldn't surprise me if it did end. Yeah. Just the fact that Nailbiter ended at issue 30. It's speculated that it could come back if it chose to, but I wouldn't be surprised if Birthright ends at 30 as well. It just seems to be the natural ending point. So, not necessarily for the story, just for the writer. So I'm thinking it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not caught up on the last issue. I know everyone's surprised that I still haven't caught up, but this cover is amazing. And like I've said every time about this book, I love this book. This book looks great inside. It's got good family building moments. It's got just a good story overall. So if you need a fantasy fix, I think this is the way to go.
Being made into a movie too. So if you want to catch on that train, I know some people like to read stuff that gets adapted. So there you go with that. I didn't find any news that was being ended. I'm probably thinking of a different series, so not that one. Descender. This is Descender, number 27. This is Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. Brand new storyline, Old Worlds, Part 1. As you guys know, I keep up with Descender every time it comes out. I'm caught up each issue. This is something I do not let get behind.
Bullshit.
How's it been going? I don't want to say my piece. You guys say yours. How's it going?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't remember what I read in 26. It's been 3 months?
Yeah, Rise of the Robots ended.
But we're getting into a new arc. So I have to admit, I'm pretty excited. I was thinking about this book a couple weeks ago, going,
yeah,
I haven't seen this come out in a while. And so last year was year of Jeff Lemire, so I'm ready to bring him back into this new year and read his Descender.
Well, if you read the solicit, it's basically about it's going to go back to ancient civilization when the harvesters were created for the first time, and it's supposed to parallel to a story to the story that we're currently reading. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited to get a lot of background on how this. Because the series starts with basically the harvesters, taking over the whole world and killing lots of people. So, wouldn't you agree, Marvin?
I know at this point of the story, you would think it's nice they're going to go back and explain that. We've been wondering for a while, how did this happen? What happened with these guys? And like Alex said, 3 months ago, I knew it came out 3 months ago, and I've been on the waiting.
Marvin's a fucking fraud. He's a fraud.
Yeah, Marvin is full of shit.
I'm not playing with your charade. You don't deserve that charade.
The joke for anybody who's listening to the show for the first time is Descender. I was picking up until like issue 19, 18, around there.
Yeah.
Didn't read one fucking issue the whole fucking time.
One day I'm catching up, and it will be you guys will be so surprised when I catch
You're
up.
not even gonna read the issues you own. You're gonna wait till it gets on Hoopla and catch up.
Hey, they're on there already, so.
I can't wait until you go, man, I should have been staying on this book. And Garrett and I can go, yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah, we're going to be like, well, we can only lead you to water, Marvin.
Alex, do you get this Evolution book?
No. You ask me that every time. No, I don't get it.
Okay. Further Adventures of Nick Wilson, number 2. Woo-woo. This is Eddie Gozorski, Mark Andreyko, Steven Sadowski. Issue 1 came out a couple weeks ago, I think. Right?
About a month ago, yeah.
It hasn't been that long. A month?
Yeah.
It's when Milk Wars number 1 came out.
No.
Oh, that was a month ago. Further Adventures of Nick Wilson. I did enjoy issue 1 a lot. It was definitely a story that I thought might be more grand, but it really was more of a story of like a guy down on his luck. Did any of you guys pick this up?
Yeah, we all did.
We both did.
What do you think of it? Did you catch up with Nick Wilson, number 1?
Yeah.
I loved it.
I enjoyed the
first issue.
Yeah.
There was a lot in there where it just, like I said, it wasn't really too out there. I really do like that it was more grounded in this guy. And he's not like I expected him to be like this shitbag, but he wasn't. He was actually a really nice guy. And he just doesn't have powers anymore. He's trying to figure out how to live his life now. And at the end, we see, I think he got a call from somebody, right?
Yes.
Don't remember. I think he got a call to like some offer he was going to get.
And it's like, we don't know who it is, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's like it could be his arch nemesis. They're making it seem like.
Yeah. But in this cover, you see him in somebody's office. So I guess we'll see what happens. If you want to go back to
but
issue 1,
you look in the background of the shadows, and it's superhero Nick Wilson versus, I don't know, but I'm assuming a bad guy.
Yeah, I would recommend it if you want to go back and get issue 1. If something like that interests you, where a hero who used to have powers doesn't have powers anymore, he's trying to live life. He's an impersonator of that hero that so he's actually the guy, but he pretends he's an impersonator for children's parties, and it was actually pretty cool. I liked it. Hit Girl, number 1. This is Mark Miller and Ricardo Lopez Ortiz. Just wanted to bring this up because first, it is on an Image now. Wasn't it an Icon before?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it was an Icon before. That's Marvel's imprint. Hit Girl's back. She's a little older now. We have Mark Miller on this first arc. I believe the second arc is going to be Kevin Smith writing it. And then the third arc, they announced, is going to be... Who was it? I told you guys a little bit. Like, I'm going to have to look it up here. It is a big writer. So...
Is Guest Host 1 getting this book, Garrett?
He said he's not.
I think he needs to.
Yeah, but you know how stubborn he is, so
I know.
not.
I know. Are you getting it?
That's what I'm. Well, see again, giant ass week, so probably not. But I do like the fact that Kevin Smith's coming on for that second arc. Mark Miller, obviously writing a comic in general, is usually pretty good, but so I don't know. I'll have to take a peek tomorrow, and if I can't put it down, then I'm gonna keep it. I'm going to do that, that donut metaphor that Marvin was saying earlier.
If I may, the cover you should get if you choose to get that is that one with her walking through the room with blood everywhere and guns on the wall.
I want the middle finger one.
Just the regular cover?
Yeah. You mean the regular? Oh, that is the first issue.
Yeah, that is the standard cover.
I see what you're saying. I don't know. We'll see.
I can't find who is doing the third arc, but it is somebody pretty big. And I actually was thinking about maybe picking it up.
Have you read the Hit Girl and Kick-Ass series, Marvin?
No, I don't think you really need to, though.
Well, I think you do, but
For a
there's a
while.
I
lot
think
of
as long as you know who
exposition.
she is.
I know. You know who she is, but I guess, during the Dave Lazuski years, there's she has a couple volumes already out, but I mean, whatever. They'll probably touch on it in the story.
Let's move on here. There are a lot of issues, a lot of variant covers there. We gotta go past those. Ice Cream Man number 2. This is Maxwell Prince, Martin Morasso, Chris O'Halloran, Rainbow Sprinkles, the second installment of this syrupy series of singular stories. Here comes the lives of two very kinds of opiate abusers intersect. But at whose behest? I think I know the answer. This is an anthology series where the Ice Cream Man interferes in people's lives, and we see this creepy little town about stuff going on. The Ice Cream Man rolls on through. This one looks like it's going to be a couple who fall into drugs in their story. First issue I liked a lot. I believe you did too, Alex, right?
I did. I really did enjoy that issue. I wasn't originally going to get it, and then you both did, and I looked through it, and it looked really good. And you know what? I was surprised how good that book was. They talked about the Brazilian wandering spider. I was happy with that.
Did you verify that they were correct in their research?
They are. I mean, the spider didn't look quite correct. They were a little wrong in the coloring, but I ain't here to judge. But it's the most venomous spider out there, so it was great. So I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to issue 2.
Garrett, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I told you guys that I compared it to It, like Stephen King's It, where there's the Ice Cream Man's going to kind of be the underlying thing in the background. So I'm excited for issue 2. I enjoyed issue 1. I can't wait to get more into this universe and see what happens.
Gary, are you still getting Horizon?
Nope.
No.
Dropped it.
Okay.
Maybe if you watch Catching Up with Garrett, you'd be caught up on what I am getting. Huh? That's what I thought.
Lazarus, Sourcebook number 3. This is Greg Rucka, Eric Trodman, David Brothers, Robert McKenzie, David Walker, Gareth Michael Shikari, and Neil Bailey, Michael Lark, Tristan Jones, Tyler Boss, and Santiago Arcas on art, covered by Eric Trodman. This is Volaskia, right? Volsalvika? Okay.
Vasalovka?
Okay. They are the family who birthed the dragon, who stole their territory before the ink of Maku was dry, who are feared by friends and friend and foe alike. As we learned from the last issue of X Plus 66, of course they should fear their friends fear them. Now, with the start of Fracture, the time has come to meet one opponent both Carlisle and Hawk fear. This is the land of Zemi. Hey, by the way, thank you, Tristan Jones, who's doing the art also in this book, for that retweet for this week. He enjoyed our podcast reviewing last year's X Plus 66, so that's cool. I'm really looking forward to it. I love these source books. Just delving into this world. I know you guys get them, but haven't really read them. But I would recommend, like I said, you put this thing on your bedside counter and you read an issue or read a page a day, 2 pages a day, 3 pages a day, keeps the doctor away, and read about this world. And you find little tidbits here, which are cool stories within themselves, but then every once in a while they pop in the book. What do you think, Alex, about picking up the source book? You haven't read the other ones, but I do believe that you are interested in reading them.
I am interested in, 1, reading them. 2, I just think they look great. And the idea of how much time Greg Rucka and the rest of the team takes to build this world that these characters live in is just amazing. And to know, like you said, that they do put in little tidbits here and there in the ongoing series, let alone what they tell you in these source books. So if you're not getting this, it's almost unfortunate, just for the fact that it really does give you some background information.
Yeah.
Not that I would know any of it, so.
Oh, by the way, that sounds for me, because when I took that opportunity to keep searching who's writing this Hit Girl book, because I knew it was somebody big, and I did find the information. Jeff Lemire's writing the third arc. That's who's doing it.
Ooh.
So
Interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see. So
That's stupid, guys. I don't want to get that book, but I would get it for Jeff Lemire.
So it's going to be Mark Miller, Kevin Smith, and Jeff Lemire. So,
well, the odds are increasing.
Garrett, what do you think? Source book. I know you haven't read the other two, but you like those having those in your back pocket.
Well, when you brought up that thing about the North, where they talked about like a bunch of soldiers were going missing, it's like I want to read them just for like that kind of fun information. So when they bring something up in like the main story, you can be like, oh, they mentioned that in the source book. So, so one day when I'm feeling encyclopedia savvy, I'll get all 3 issues out, just tear into them.
I love how the covers have specific colors. Like Carlisle was blue, looked great. Hawk was red. I'm sorry, I'm all about covers. And I love how vibrant green this cover is. So I'm excited.
Eric Chodman, good cover. Moonshine number 7. This is Brian Azzarello. Eduardo Arizo, Misery Train Part 1. This book's been missing for a while, hasn't it, Garrett?
Yeah, it's the second arc. I really enjoyed the first arc, and now that our main character, he's got a little bit of a different lifestyle now. Very excited to see what happens next. I don't really understand why a book that's only like 20, 30 pages has been delayed for this long, but I guess we'll find out after we start reading this issue. So.
I think this is going to be that book, and I realize Coyotes is coming back. That's going to fill that void of werewolves for Garrett and I.
Oh, gosh. I looked at the preview art. It looks so good. There's a flashback art. There's some flashback art that looks insanely good.
Cool. Postal Mark one shot. This is Matt Hawkins and Raphael Lincoln. This is the after the stunning series conclusion to the regular Postal series. This one shot story shows Mark's fate in the town 1 year later. I believe you talked about this, Garrett, in your catch up with Garrett, I think, maybe? Gauntlet, one of the two.
I still have to read issue 25, which is the final issue of the series, and this is the first of the one-shots, because the one after this is his mother. It's her issue, but I've loved this series. I'm very excited to read the finale because it's an oversized issue. I'm excited to read this book because, it's always cool when you get a cool epilogue to the story that you love, as long as it's like worth telling. So I'm interested, absolutely.
Sex Criminals 22. This is Matt Fraction. Chip Zdarsky. Five Fingered Discount Part 2. Ghost. Okay, not literally, but still. Susie and John find themselves haunted by their past in a different way for different reasons. Also, Anna 2, and Doc, and Kegel. Dang. Alex, this is issue 22. This book's been out for 10 years. Been coming out for 10 years. How's this book going? I know for a while it fell off the tracks. You said it got back on. Is it still on track?
Oh, yeah. It's actually it's gotten more interesting. Susie and John have broken up. They're dating other people. They actually happen to go to a function with their significant other, and have actually ran into each other, both dressing up looking like idiots, like a couple would. And now they're just kind of making small talk. It's, you know what? This is one of those books that it takes a really long hiatus, but when it comes back, it's so good. That art is great by Chip. And Matt Fraction does know how to write some really funny dialogue in just almost uncomfortable situations.
Would you call that, if you have other significant others, would you call that OSL?
Don't you? That's what I do.
So I brought it up. Marvel Comics, this is The Land That Forgot Legacy. Once again, rebooting. We'll talk about that later this week. Amazing Spider-Man number 796. Alex, you still get Amazing Spider-Man, or did those events kick you off?
I caught up on the Code Red or whatever it was. I wanted to pull my eyes out because who gives a shit? Why can't I just have a Spider-Man book?
Damn.
I think I just need to be done with this book and wait until the new one comes out because I just
hear this pitch. Dan Slott, Mike Hawthorne, Threat Level Red Part 3. You've watched for months as Norman Osborn has scoured the globe for a cure to the genetic tampering that prevents him from becoming the Green Goblin. In this issue, he finds it. Does that make you want to get this?
No, because I know what he finds, and who gives a shit. So I think, like, right there, I think I've answered my question. I don't give a crap, and so I just need to be done with this book. I like Spider-Man, and I never seem to find Spider-Man, a good Spider-Man book, and I am sick and tired of picking it up and then dropping it.
Well, that's why you should read Ultimate Spider-Man, like me, Marvin, and Corey have been telling you for years.
That was bad English, so I'm not going to do it.
It's not bad English.
By the way, Dan Slott
Marvin and Corey.
Crystal
I
Gage.
go in order of importance.
Crystal Gage, who we talked about, that was writing that DC book, is also co-writing this issue, so he'll be doing that. Daredevil number 599. This is Charles Soule, Ron Garney, and Dan Moore on the cover. Mayor Fisk Part 5. We learned recently Ron Garney will be off of Daredevil after issue 600, I believe. Also, 2 more issues. Mayor Fisk Part 5. While Mayor Fisk continues his crusade against vigilantes, a new player joins the resistance against him, the psychopathic murderer artist Muse. What do you guys think, Garrett? Daredevil 599, close to that 600.
Well, when you said Ron Garney's getting off, I'm thinking about jumping off when he does, because I don't know. This doesn't feel like a Daredevil book to me. I mean, I know it is. It's like involved with his characters and whatnot, but it doesn't seem like anything's like any kind of character development's happening for Daredevil. He's just kind of like reacting to things. And I feel like it's more about his supporting cast, and like obviously Muse is a huge part. So I don't know. And then also when you don't get Ron Garney's art consistently, so I'm wary about it. But I'm also like, I bet 600 is going to be great. But after that, I don't think it's going to be that good.
Depends on who takes over for Ron Garney. If it's a great artist, then I would be willing to stay on. I'm starting to feel like Garrett. I'm getting kind of fatigued. I'm just, after watching the Daredevil show on Netflix, I was all like, yes, I got to get me some Daredevil. I got that Chris Samney run. I got that Mark Waid run. I'm not feeling this book. And I think when Garrett jumps off, I most likely will be jumping off.
Wow. Okay. Actually, have in mind this arc. It's not as, we've had worse arcs. You're right. I don't think it's great, but I do enjoy it a little bit.
I'm not even saying the stuff about the arc. I'm simply just saying that this book in general it's had its really strong issues. It's had its really shitty issues. And I need a book that's a little bit more consistent and either being consistently shit or consistently good.
Speaking of which, Defenders number 10, this is Brian Michael Bendis and David Marquez. Kingpins in New York, Part 5. This is the final issue of Defenders from Brian Michael Bendis, the final issue of the series altogether. I believe, Alex, you're the only one left in this book. Am I correct?
Of course. Last man standing.
Last man standing. Do you believe, are you caught up in this book?
Yes.
Do you believe this book can wrap up one issue, or is it really going to be...
Oh, God, no.
Is it really going to be a thing that just ends?
This is going to be one of those books that... oh, God, who were they fighting at the last... Black Cat shows up at the last issue, shoots, I'm pretty sure it's Diamondback, shoots him with like a grenade launcher, and then the rest of these female characters like Elektra and I don't think it was Dagger. It was like the Fearless Defenders showed up, White Tiger, and they're all just there. It's like, what the hell are you guys all doing here? No one invited you to this party. I thought this was these other 4 characters' book. So now we're going to have like 15 characters, not sure who I should be following. I'm going to get horrible conversation between Iron Fist and Daredevil, who apparently are really funny and quippy to each other, which annoys the crap out of me. It's one of those books that I'm so thankful it's ending. The art is great by David Marquez, but you know what? It feels phoned in. Like, severely phoned in.
I even was going to say, I don't think the art really looks that great. It kind of looks rushed. It really doesn't look like his style at all. So, yeah, I believe this is a book that wasn't supposed to end, but it is going to end because obviously Bendis is leaving. So they got to try to wrap it up in one issue. We'll see what happens. Bendis, I've seen in issues before, kind of really does like make something happen that really doesn't make sense. Like you can tell he's just using it to wrap up the story, and I think that's maybe what you're going to get. So we'll see. Doctor Strange Damnation #1. This is Donny Cates and Nick Spencer and Rod Rice on art. Haven't seen Rod since what was that book? Hadrian's Wall.
Secret Empire.
Oh yeah, Secret Empire, I guess. Greg Smallwood on that cover. Great cover by Greg. The City of Sin gets its biggest sinner yet when Doctor Strange raises Las Vegas up for destruction during Secret Empire. He inadvertently opens a big door from the embodiment of evil. Mephisto, the devilish villain, takes the city for himself and sets his sight on the rest of the world. It's going to take take heroes from all over the Marvel universe to defeat him. But there's nothing simple while fighting the Lord of Hell. This actually really interests me because Donny Cates, I think, has been doing a good job with Doctor Strange and Thanos. Nick Spencer, I haven't seen since Secret Empire. Rod Rice, I do enjoy also. What do you think, Garrett? This is going to be sort of like a crossover event book. It does involve some people we don't sometimes like seeing, Mephisto. But, I mean, if he's from the villain from the get-go, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I've been reading that Spirits of Vengeance, and Doctor Strange is in it, but a lot of the supporting cast in this book is in it. And, there's talking about a lot of threats that are coming to fruition. So I think this book's going to be amazing. I think, the 4 issues plus whatever it crosses over in, I think it's going to be a fun saga that's not too over the top, that you have to put a crossover in every single Marvel book across the board, but enough that makes sense. So I'm excited for this run.
Hey, Alex, are you getting this?
Yeah, I'm getting it. I love Donny Cates. That rumor that you told me about him taking over Venom made me excited to get Venom.
Not a rumor, confirmed.
I'm just telling you. Until I see the book comes out, it's rumor. I'm excited. I like this book. It sounds super exciting. And excuse me. And if I'm going to get some Johnny Blaze and I'm going to get some Blade, I'm there. I'm ready for this book.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm excited for it. It should be a fun thing at least. At least I hope that's where it goes. Mighty Thor 704, Jason Aaron, Russell Dodderman. Congratulations to Jason Aaron. Just got announced he's taking over Avengers. The Death of Mighty Thor Part 5. Jane's cancer has taken a turn for the worse, but while she faces the enemy of her body, the Magnog ravages Asgardia. This is a book that I mostly have enjoyed over the course of time. There's some issues where I think we're getting sick of some people being in the book for so long. But this is wrapping up to the death of Mighty Thor. They did confirm something in their announcement. Marvel announced that they're rebooting all their books, basically. And they did announce that Odin's son will become Thor again. So obviously we're getting there. They never announced what's going to happen with Lady Thor, so I'm curious to see where this goes. If they will pull the trigger and she dies, or if it's just some sort of trick and she'll stay alive and still be Thor. So I'm not sure. Garrett, what do you think? Oh, go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just was, the last issue there were some good things, but then there's also things that bug me. I'm actually hoping that Jane does tell Doctor Strange, I can't do this fight on my own. I need magic to save me. As much as I think letting her die is a character builder for everybody to go, wow, things, we can't live through everything. But I also want to see even just that little bit of greedy human self of Jane to go, I'm not ready to die. There's so much more I can do, even as just Jane Foster. So I'm hoping just a little bit that she's greedy.
Yeah, Marvin brought up a good point last show. It's like she doesn't want to be magically healed, but she uses magic to save the day. So it's like
she's being a hypocrite.
Who cares? Like, just you can't and then but also Marvin says you can't save the day if you're dead. So if you want to save people, but you don't want to get magically healed, you can't have both ways. So.
Yeah, the thing was that if they would bring it up in the story, then I would be okay. They're actually addressing it, but they're ignoring the logic of her being she's like, no, I need to keep living so I can save these guys. it's my duty as the god of thunder, as the goddess of thunder, but it's like, but don't heal me. So she's just expecting to die, and then what if she doesn't get the job done before she dies, and then like they just died too? Like I didn't understand why she's just not like, oh yeah, just heal me. Like let's get this over with. I'll be Thor like I'm supposed to be, and I'm not sure. But anyways, it's been good so far. There's just some parts of the story I wish would I don't know. It seems like it's a little slow moving book. Like this story's been going on for a long, long time, 4 years maybe, and it seems almost like it could have been 2 years, and I would have been okay with it. But we'll see.
I think my other question is going to be, for as strong as it's Mangog, right? The Destroyer thing. As strong as he is, there doesn't seem to be a lot of, and I love my stakes. There's not a lot of stakes. People who should be dying, at least in my head, are not. Like when Heimdall gets his eyes just poked out, when there's that big splorch of what I assumed was his head being impaled. I know that nothing bad will happen in this book, and I think that's partially what bugs me. And I know that this is a fantastical world. Things don't have to make sense, which I agree with. But I also need to know that characters I may like do have the possibility of dying. I'm also concerned, is Jason Aaron going to make a book called Worthy Thor?
No. There's no way that book will ever come out. It'll just be called Thor.
No, I know, but is there going to be that mini-series to tell me how he became worthy again?
Hey, maybe he's never worthy. That's the whole point.
It'll happen in this book if it happens.
Okay.
We'll see it in this. By the way, Russell Dodderman, glad to see he's on this issue. Usually when he's on board are the good issues, so I am glad to see him on there. So, Punisher, Platoon 66. This is the end of Lieutenant Castle's first platoon. The beginning of the Punisher? ? This is Garth Ennis and Goran Parlov. That cover looks great. I've been enjoying the story a lot, and we're finally going to get the answer to the question, Alex. Is this the end of the platoon? Is this how the Punisher is created? The last issue left on a huge cliffhanger, and I'm excited to see where this goes. What do you think, Alex?
This is one of those books I went into it expecting to get a, Frank Castle, the Punisher, and I got so much more of a connection to Frank Castle. He wasn't always this killer. I mean, he's always been a killer, but he wasn't always the Punisher. And to actually see somebody else who Marvin and I talked about, I don't remember if it's on the forecast or if it was on our show on Wednesday Comics. I think she's the Punisher. I think that's the whole point, is to see her punish these guys for what they did to her family, and showing the Punisher, almost teaching the Punisher what is most important is family, and which the platoon has become his family. So it's this whole big thing. I think we really will see Frank Castle be born into the Punisher.
I think it was on the main show. So WednesdayComics.com, you can listen to the show and see us talk about that on our last month's episode, I believe. It came out last month, right?
I believe so, yes.
Man, time flies. It feels like that was yesterday. Speaking of time flying, Alex, fly through this list quick and tell me which one do you think is going to be your pick this week? Which one are you looking forward to the most?
You know what? There's so many freaking books. In all honesty, the only one that popped into my head right when you said it was Batman number 41 with Poison Ivy.
Batman 41, that's Tom King and Mikhail Hadin. That is a good choice. I'm looking forward to that too. But Garrett, what are you looking forward to this week?
I'm going to say Brave and the Bold. Like, I think that's, with Marvel honoring their legacy and DC rebirthing and focusing on their what makes their universe great. I think bringing back a book like Brave and Bold is a smart choice. So I'm very excited for that.
I am really looking forward to, I guess technically it's a comic book, that source book. I am really looking forward to delving into that and seeing how this house, like it said in the solicit, we've seen these two families. They both are pretty horrible families, but yet they fear this one family. Why? This family is really mysterious. So I'm excited to see what we get from this. But if I'm going to go traditional type of comics, probably Damnation #1. I am interested to see the tone of that story. I'm interested to see Rod Rice's art again for a full issue. And I am also interested in those characters. So that should be good. Also Punisher 6. like we were just talking about a second ago, that's ending, so I'm excited to see where that goes. Wednesday comics forecast. Tell you the book's coming out for the 20th. Alex's weather's been all over the place. 21st, sorry. This weather's been all over the place. What do you think? How does it look tomorrow?
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. It's about negative 10 degrees where we live. Put your coats on. You shouldn't have any snow. Should be clear skies, but it's going to be cold. Bundle up. Put some scarves on. Wear those snow pants. Keep your legs warm. Wear some shoes. Tell you lose some body heat. Wear a hat. You know what? Be safe. It's cold.
Garrett, I was driving the other day, and because it was so warm one day, it's cold one day, it's hot tamale, as I say, as everybody says in the whole world. That's a saying everybody says when you grow up. When you're 1 year old, you're told that it's in a scroll when you open your first birthday present.
In the scroll.
But because of that change in temperature, we get some huge potholes in the road. What are you doing to combat that?
I don't combat it. I just report it. So
okay.
It's called fucking swerve out of the way.
Hit somebody else.
But on the traffic side of things, this is another huge week of books. So maybe before you even get in your car, grab a freaking backpack or a satchel or a European shoulder bag, something that you're going to throw these comics in because you're going to need the room. And then get there early because there's a lot of books, and if you don't you're not going to get your whole list if you get there too late. So,
when did you become? When did you become the traffic guy? I thought you were also my road guy. How about these?
No,
roads?
I was always traffic. I was always in the traffic guy.
I think go back and listen. You've been my road guy.
No,
I thought he used the roadologist, but I just assumed that meant he was the traffic guy.
Don't you remember we kidnapped you and stuck you in a room for 2 days? You learned about granite. What do you think that was for? That's not traffic.
I choose to forget those days because it was so rough.
Well, I choose to enjoy them. I replay it. I got video of the whole thing. I replay it 24/7 in my house and enjoy that. Mostly because...
Hope you have better entertainment than that.
No, that's the best entertainment in the world. And you can find more entertainment at WednesdayComics.com if you enjoy that kind of entertainment. Those are the comics for this week. Looking forward to it a lot. I know you go D2R, like Garrett said, bring that satchel, bring a duffel bag, bring a Samsonite suitcase, because you're going to need it to get these comics this week. A lot of comics, a lot of things to read and enjoy. For this week, I've been Marvin.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex.
And I'm Garrett.
Guess what? You need to stay warm and keep reading those books.